Hey guys, so welcome to Title Talk episode 2. Today I wanted to talk about public record. And I wanted to do it in a little bit more of a conversational way instead of such a presentation way as I did the first one. So what I thought could be fun and interesting is if I just went onto Realtor.com and found a property that I thought looked like something I would want to purchase in Pennsylvania. So I'm going to turn the screen and I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking at on Realtor.com and then go from there as far as what could be then something that we want to purchase and how to find information on it. So full disclosure, this is not the same as getting a complete search, and when we put a title commitment together, they gather more information than what I'm going to be showing you guys, but this is also a very good just brief outline of let's make sure that we have the parcel number, who owns the property, things like that, just so that you're fully prepared when you go and are wanting to put in a contract on a piece of property. So I'm just getting logged in here now. And we are going to look for a piece of property. We're going to say Exton, Pennsylvania. So the zip code is 19341. And we are going to look at all of the results that came up. And I'm going to turn to show you guys this screen as well. So they've got a list of 32 results, and I'm going to say, show me the list. And this place looks cool. Oh, this place looks pretty. Okay. So we're going to look at 546 West Boot Road in Westchester, PA. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look on their actual listing page and see if it shows us anything helpful as far as the property itself. So we're going to look, and I don't see anything yet. I'm looking for things that reference parcel number. And like I said, I'm not seeing anything, and I don't see it included in here as well. So what I'm going to do is, because I have a little bit of extra information because I've done this before, I know that Westchester, PA is in Chester County. So I'm going to go over to, I like to use Google Chrome, and I'm just going to simply look up Chester County public records. So see that option right there, Chester County, PA property search. We're going to click on it. And then this is, just make sure, because sometimes what happens, like here's a great example, PA government records. That's not what we want. That's somebody that's probably like a third party looking for, money, and it's not necessarily going to have the best information. But I do think that this chesco.org, especially since it's a .org, is a pretty good idea. So we're going to click on that one. And we're going to say Eagle Web, I acknowledge, all that good stuff. Okay, so what do we have on the property? So let's go to advanced search. We know the municipality, which is Westchester. Oops. And let's see what else we know. So it also told us, if we look back here, when the property last transferred. So we're going to say the start date will be January 1st. And the end date is going to be the end of this year, 12/12/2020. Oops. 1/1/2025, 12/12. Oh, I'm missing a 2. 2025. Go. Okay, so we've got all kinds of information here. And really what I want to show you guys, this is a positive and a negative, right? Like, I could continue to narrow this down and look at, I've got document types, sort by, ascending order, results per page, but I also have 1,150 results, which is obviously a lot to go through. So, but really what I want to show you guys is as of, and see how this one has the parcel number right here too? This is a really good example. It says Westchester, PA, and the parcel number is 11165. So let's just, for the sake, click on this deed. So we see that the grantor was Elizabeth Haith and the grantee. So grantor, as you remember from our last one, that's our seller, and grantee is the buyer. So the 402 Dean LLC purchased this property as of 10/28/2024. So we also know that the parcel number for this particular piece of property is 11165 in Westchester. So if we wanted to look at, let's say, taxes for this property, we could go to the Westchester Tax Office. Chester Treasurer's Office. And then we would go to their website. And once we're on their website, we can say department, and we're going to say tax information, and this is where it talks about real estate certifications, which if you've ever bought or sold a house, that's something that we deal with. Sewer payments, it's saying is Aqua, which is great. You know, there's plenty of information available here. And actually, Chester County is particularly good, I have to say, about having the information available online. So I want to rewind a little bit and say that really what I'm trying to get at is that the resources are available for public information so that anybody can access. So since we are now on Chesco's website, let's go back a little bit here and see if we can find anything about that particular house that I found on Realtor.com. So we are going to go to services, and we'll say data and map services. So we're going to say find address, and our address is 546 West Boot Road. So back over here, 546 West Boot Road, Westchester, PA. And it's in West Whiteland Township. Okay, so that's actually really good to know. It's not in Westchester, it's in West Whiteland. So then we can go to West Whiteland Township. And we're going to go to their official website. And then we can go to maps. And most all townships have this amazing thing. Most counties as well. And it's called GIS mapping. And we want GIS mapping for Chester County. And as mentioned before, there's a lot of, like, this is probably an add acres, so we're going to go to this one. So once we get there, we're going to say launch Chesco Views. This is a super helpful site. Some people, like especially out in my area in West Virginia, hunters, they use this thing called LandX. GIS mapping is like LandX on steroids. It's I feel like it's much simpler to use, and you're more likely to get accurate and correct information. So, we know that our property is in West Whiteland Township. So we're going to zoom way in on West Whiteland Township. And typically there's a search feature. There we go. And our property is 546 West Boot Road. And we think that the municipality is West Whiteland. Okay, search. And there we go. Okay, listen, this is beautiful. So from the GIS mapping, and now we had to go to Chester County. So let's rewind a little bit. We found a property that we liked. We went on to public record. It was pretty overwhelming. There's a lot of information there. Honestly, I wasn't even searching the right municipality. But what we did from there was we went to GIS mapping. From there, we put in the property address, and now, look at all this information we have. We have the parcel number, which is that 418 number, the UPI number, the street address, and the current owner. So now, their mailing address, and this is all public record, guys. I'm not logged into anything special. We have the book and the page of the deed that was recorded. We have when it was recorded, part of the legal description, the assessed value of the lot. And with this information, there's a few things that we can do. So main thing I want to do is I want to go back to and show you guys on our document search page. So now that we know who the current owner of the property is, what I would like to see, just as an example, is if there are any mortgages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up our current owner. So I'm going to go to Chesco, and I'm going to say, I'm just going to put in his last name, which is Arjet, A-R-J-E-T. Oops. Oh, it's because it keeps putting a period in there. A-R-J-E-T. Okay, so now we can see, here's this deed. So there was the last person that sold it to him, and there's his name. So this I can see here, because see this UPI number? That doesn't match us. So that's not the property we're looking for. So we are actually going to see what we can find out if we put him in the grantor column. A-R-J-E-T. Go. Okay, so at this point, we do have the UPI number. So let's go over here and copy this UPI number. Copy. And back over to our search. And we're going to paste and say search. Municipality is West Whiteland. Four 18141. Four one dash 8. West. There we go, West Whiteland. Okay, now that's selected. And then it wants the lot number, so let's see if this gives us a lot number. It probably should over in DWG. See that down there with the legal 2. So we're going to go back over DWG. And search. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. So it looks like here's our property. It was purchased from a trust, and there's the correct date. And it looks like there shouldn't be a mortgage on the property. So this is everything with the UPI number that we entered. This is all of the information that's coming up. So it looks like there may have been a mortgage on the property, but it's been paid off, right? Because, and that's also the prior owner. So this is our current owner. This is the prior owner. And this is a satisfaction saying that the mortgage has been paid off. So what that means is that as you are headed to closing for this property, or even just so you have information on it, there are no mortgages. There's no money currently owed, which is great to know for you, so you know what you're getting into. You know, like if the person has 10 mortgages on the property, it can make things a lot more complicated as you come up towards settlement. So the long and short, and what I want to make sure that anybody who's buying a house or realtors or whoever is aware of, is that from as simple of a search as you have on realtor.com, right? You find a house, you find a property address. From there, you can immediately go to, again, it's GIS mapping, and every county has one, in every state that I've worked in. So you're going to go to GIS mapping, and from there you can type in the address. And remember, as soon as we typed in the address, we got all kinds of information. We got the parcel number, we got the current owner, we got legal descriptions, we got deed booking pages, and that's, again, this is all public record. So as soon as we have that, we can then go look at recorded documents that are of record. And as a reminder, recorded documents of records are deeds, mortgages, anything of that nature. So that's where you would see, let's say, if any liens, any weird, and there's also the Prothonotari's office, which is somewhere else that these items can pop up. But again, this isn't, I'm not suggesting that everybody does a search for themselves, right? What I'm suggesting is that if you want to make sure that you have accurate initial information for filling out a contract, etc., this is how you do it. So just from an address, I was able to pull all of that information. I was able to see who the current owner is. And once I knew who the current owner was, once I knew what the parcel number was, I was then able to go of record and see that there are no mortgages owed. And honestly, there were 3 items of record that came up with that parcel number. So that's a pretty clean property. If you guys want assistance, you know, maybe you find a property that you're interested in doing a little search on, feel free to reach out, let me know. We can do that together. I'd love to. I love educating people about this kind of stuff, and I know that this went a little bit back and forth and probably wasn't quite as fun as I wanted it to be, but it's better than looking at a presentation. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you would want to change, and I'm thinking that next week, I'm working on it. It's kind of a long process because there's a lot of information to go through, but I'm working on getting a commitment presentation up and running. So that might be our live next week. If not, I'll make sure to have something else in store for you guys if it's not ready. So thanks for joining, and if you've got any questions, let me know. Bye.